a collection of dorks. I would be embarrassed to stand on that stage in front of the entire world. And as a grown man, I am standing there holding a Barbie doll. Uncle Casey, that was not a Barbie doll. That was Master Yoda. He's the master of the universe. Master what? Master who? It looked more like a collection of masturbators. Pedro Pascal is dressed like a feminine magician. Look at me, I'm the great Pascalini. For my next trick, I'll make my balls disappear. The older gentleman, I believe that was Jon Favreau. He's standing there with a baby doll in his hand. It's just weird. And it's further proof of how out of touch Hollywood is with normal people. Later this week, Disney will be releasing the latest version of Star Wars, also known as their latest huge embarrassing failure. 7 years ago, Disney released the final film in something called a Star Wars sequel trilogy, Rise of the Skywalker, which I would assume is about some heroic dude who has the ability to walk on the sky. It generated over $1 billion at the box office. Now, while that sounds like an impressive number, and look, Disney would be more than satisfied with $1 billion at the box office today. The last time Disney generated billions, the currency was being counted in Ethiopian breadcrumbs. But while $1 billion sounds impressive for Skywalker's Rise, that was half the revenue that Disney generated back in 2015 with the second film in the Star Wars series. Now, most people would look at this as a sign of declining interest. But instead of abandoning Star Wars, which originally came out before Uncle Casey was even born, Disney took this 50% decline in revenue as a sign to double down on dorkness. 2018, something called Solo, a Star Wars Story bombed with under $400 million in revenue at the box office. Last year, Skeleton Crew recorded the lowest ratings ever recorded for a Star Wars series on television. The Acolyte canceled after one season for being a huge embarrassing failure. Are you noticing a trend here? Are you starting to notice a pattern? Clearly, no one is interested in seeing the woke version of Star Wars. But for some reason, Disney decided to waste hundreds of millions of dollars on another Star Wars turd. This Friday, The Mandalorian and Grogu will be released in theaters. Uncle Casey, what the hell is a Mandalorian and Grogu? I have no idea. I believe when translated from dork to English, it means the virgin and super virgin. The one thing I know for sure, if there are any ladies looking for a man who has no idea how to please them, go to the movie theater this Friday and there will be hundreds of them watching this movie. You will have your pick. Maybe one of them will have enough money to buy the vibrating lightsaber and you can show him the best way to use it. All kidding aside, the latest Star Wars film, it's going to be released this Friday. And according to early projections, Disney is expecting another major failure. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel is in the description below. Earlier today on the second channel, talked about the disappointing fight last weekend between Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano. I explained why the fight was not the biggest disappointment of the weekend. Ronda Rousey, who used to be the biggest draw in MMA, not only did she fail to sell out the arena, it barely looked like it was filled to half capacity. So, if you haven't already, click the link in the description below, subscribe to the second channel. Let me show you how Pedro Pascal, the lead actor in the latest Star Wars turd, let me show you how he chose to promote the film to the public. Last week, Pedro Pascal had the distinct honor of being one of the final guests on Stephen Colbert's Late Night Dump. Apparently, Pedro was not the lead guest that night, which means he wasn't the A-lister. There was a woman that was interviewed before him, and during her interview with Stevie Colbert, she did the unthinkable and she kissed him. Most women aren't attracted to a dude who's not funny and looks like Where's Waldo, but I guess the vodka or the tequila blurred her vision and she planted a very nice smooch on Stevie's face. Pedro Pascal was watching backstage and he got a little bit jealous. Now, initially, I thought he was jealous that Stevie was getting all the action from the ladies, but as it turns out, he was jealous that the lady was getting all the action from Stevie. When he sat down on the safe space couch, Pedro Pascal expressed his jealous feelings to Stephen Colbert, and being the decent, inclusive man that he is, Stephen Colbert decided to make Pedro Pascal's dreams come true. Watch for yourself.
People may not know.
I got jealous.
What? No need. Anytime.
I know this was supposed to be funny. I know it was supposed to be a ha-ha moment. Look, they're combining their mustaches. Ooga! Ooga! How many tickets were sold because of this segment? My guess is it probably convinced more people not to watch this movie. And they didn't need another reason not to watch, because critics are already describing the latest iteration of Star Wars as a flaming ass fire. Headline at the New York Post: new Star Wars film panned by critics, leaving the legendary franchise fighting for its future. According to projections, Star Wars is expected to generate about $80 million opening weekend, which would be a major disappointment for Disney. Some are claiming that Star Wars is catering to a niche audience. There have been so many versions, so many sequels that hard for casual fans to keep up. 25 or 30 years ago, a new release of Star Wars, it would be a big deal. I remember in the early 2000s, Conan O'Brien sent Triumph the Insult Comic Dog down to Times Square to check out the crowd of nerds waiting for Star Wars to be released. There were thousands of people camping out for days waiting for this movie to hit the theaters. There were dorks dressed as Darth Vader in the crowd, nerds dressed as stormtroopers, lonely men dressed as Princess Leia, since that's the only way they could get close to a woman. Today, seems like no one cares. Me personally, I think it's a combination of factors. We're living in more of a reality era. The new Michael Jackson movie, it was a major success. A lot of the top shows on TV, reality-based, or as reality-based as they can be. Nothing you see on TV is actually real. But the point is, the fantasy genre, it seems to be in decline. Marvel is in the pooper. Disney as a company is in the pooper. I think a lot of Star Wars fans, they're also pissed off because Disney tried to modernize the series. And by modernize, I mean they injected it with the woke fungus. Characters that were proud feminists, actors cast based on diversity. Plus, there's nothing really fresh and new about Star Wars. First movie came out, I want to say it was 1977, 8 or 9 years before I was even born. How many times can you sell the same story? How many times can you show the Skywalkers conquering the Death Star? Like we've talked about many times before, Hollywood is completely out of touch with normal people. Yesterday morning, the In Wokeness account on Twitter put together a compilation of so-called celebrities complaining about capitalism. Now, I say so-called celebrities because I've never heard of any of these people. Now, keep in mind, Hollywood is the ultimate capitalist industry. Right now, they are literally abandoning the People's Republic of California over high taxes and impossible regulations. Every unknown in this video is worth several $1 million. Now, all of that money made in America. They didn't get wealthy in China. They damn sure didn't get rich in Cuba. They got rich in America, then had the audacity to complain about it. Watch for yourself.
The only people that really benefit are the top 0.003%.
It's very simple. It's just way too imbalanced. There's no way you need to have all that damn money and people out here and can't eat.
The unfairness of the entire system.
America has created more millionaires than any other country in the world. 40% of the world's millionaires created in America. The other top countries are China, France, Germany, Japan, the UK. Those countries combined have over 17 million millionaires. Here in America, we have over 24 million. Yet Hollywood, they want to lecture us from their mansions about the evil capitalist system that they benefited from. And they wonder why they continue to struggle. They wonder why millions of Americans aren't rushing to the theaters to pay to see their latest toxic turd. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.